On the edge of a shrinking pond lived a heron. Age had stolen his speed, leaving him hungry and desperate. The pond, once teeming with fish, was now almost bare, reflecting his own dwindling fortunes. Each day brought the heron closer to starvation, and desperation gnawed at his belly. The heron spent his days perched on a withered lotus stalk, his sharp eyes scanning the muddy water, but the water remained stubbornly empty. The few remaining fish were too clever, too quick for his aging reflexes. He longed for the days when his catch was guaranteed, when his stomach didn't growl with such painful insistence. He knew he couldn't survive much longer like this. He needed a plan, a way to outsmart his prey and fill his belly. As he watched the last remaining inhabitants of the pond, a small colony of crabs, an idea began to form in his cunning mind. The heron, with a gleam in his eye, decided to use his cunning, not his speed, to survive. He would trick his prey, luring them into a false sense of security before making them his next meal. This shrinking pond was no longer a home, but a hunting ground, and he, the predator, was ready to play a new game.
My dear friends, this drought is a tragedy. Soon this pond will be no more than a dusty pit and we will all perish. But fear not, I have discovered a paradise. A lake, vast and brimming with life, awaits us just beyond the hills. I am too old, too weak to make the journey. But you are strong and agile. Let me carry you to this haven, one by one, and we shall all survive.
The heron ruffled his feathers, adopting an air of despondency. He knew the crabs, simple creatures that they were, would be easy to deceive. With a heavy heart, he announced his plight to the pond, his voice cracking with feigned sadness. The crabs, moved by the heron's apparent despair and selfless offer, huddled together, whispering amongst themselves. The heron's performance was flawless, his desperation palpable. He had sown the seeds of hope and fear, a potent combination that would soon prove fruitful. One by one, the unsuspecting crabs climbed onto the heron's back, their pincers clinging to his scrawny feathers. He took flight, soaring high above the trees, giving his passengers a breathtaking view of their seemingly doomed home. Below, the pond shrunk with every passing moment, reinforcing the urgency of their plight. But the heron had no intention of leading them to a promised land. He flew towards a desolate rocky crag, far from any source of water. As each crab reached the peak of their journey, he cruelly tossed them onto the barren stones, their shells cracking against the unforgiving surface. He returned to the pond, a triumphant glint in his eye, and regaled the remaining crabs with tales of their comrades' joyous arrival in their new home. He painted vivid pictures of crystal-clear water, abundant food, and a carefree existence, further solidifying their trust and eagerness to embark on this false pilgrimage. Amongst the remaining crabs, however, one was not so easily convinced. This crab, known for his quick wit and sharp instincts, harbored a growing suspicion. The heron's story, though convincing, seemed too good to be true. The desperation in his voice felt rehearsed, his generosity a touch too theatrical.
Honored heron, your compassion warms our hearts. But I, burdened with age and infirmity, fear I am not strong enough to endure such a journey. Perhaps, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, you could carry me to this paradise last of all.
The heron, eager to claim his final prize, readily agreed.
Of course, my friend, your comfort is my priority. I will return for you when all others have reached their destination.
He pretended to be concerned for the crab, while in reality he couldn't wait to feast on the last of the crabs. The crab, certain of the heron's treachery, waited until they were high above the ground, the familiar rocky crag coming into view. He felt a surge of anger at the heron's deceit and a pang of sympathy for his fallen comrades. But this was no time for despair. He had to act fast. Just as the heron prepared to toss him onto the rocks, the crab tightened his claw and struck, his grip finding purchase on the heron's scrawny neck. The heron squawked in surprise and pain, his deceptive facade crumbling. He thrashed and flapped his wings, trying to dislodge the crab, but the crab held on tight, his grip like a vice.
Foolish bird, did you think you could deceive us all? Your lies have been exposed.
The heron, realizing the tables had turned, pleaded for his life, promising to change his ways, but the crab knew better than to trust the deceitful bird again.